Welcome to the Militia Gaming Community. I'm Trigger, and these are my full run results for the Gold Seeker Summit in the Crew 2. Let's go! Alright, so this is actually my full summit runs for each of the events in the summit. I'm going to add some commentary as well. I feel like there are a lot of other full summit run videos out there from other channels, but they don't really add any commentary, which kind of makes the video a little boring to watch. So anyway, for this one, you're going to want to back up a lot, like I mentioned in my guide, and then take it on the right side of that gate. After that, it's really just about skill. You want to keep the throttle down, obviously, and I feel like I did a pretty good job. I lost traction in a couple of spots and I had to brake a couple of times, so I probably could put up a faster score or a faster time than I did on this one. However, I'm happy with the results. I got a very, very good score and my time was very fast, so I'm going to keep it the way it is. I probably will not go back. Notice I lost traction there. See, I really did not want to do that. It cut out probably at least a half a second or more on my time, which I could have had over 19,000 points, but the difference between 19,000 and 18.8 in the summit is not going to be a lot. It's going to be a few hundred points. But look at this, 155,000 points for that first event. What a great way to start off this summit. So let's move on to the next event. All right, the next event is the Arch Park Trails Escape. This escape was actually pretty challenging at first. I had to look up a couple of the world record runs, and every single run that I looked up, they actually went around this gate and hit it from the other side. So you actually need to do that. Just go straight, go up this way, turn around, and then hit it with some speed through the gate. But one thing I noticed about this is that it's a very odd route. So pay attention to the route that I take. It is very dark, so it's going to be hard to see exactly where I went, but this is the route that you want to take. It allows you to get out of these little cavern areas between these rocks and gives you some open field to really put distance on the circle. So you go up this hill like this. Notice it really wasn't a clean run either. I think I could score a little higher. But you go down this rock platform here and then go up the hill on the left. So this gets you up and out of this area and allows you to sort of get into an open field situation where you can run away from that circle. And the circle doesn't move quite as fast as some of the other circles, so you're able to run away from it at about 140, 150 miles per hour. But that being said, once you drop down into that little area, now it's just a straight shot away from the circle. So I'll let this run play out, and I will catch you on the next event. Alright, next up is the Grand Canyon Slalom, and I'm using this 1414 Demon. This one is difficult, I'm not going to lie. It really took me a long time to get a decent score, and even this run is terrible. I mean, I really could have done better. I feel like it was not clean at all. I was racing in the run with one of my friends, which, by the way, your friends are not ghosts on this one, so I would not recommend doing it. See, I hit him and had to respawn my boat. So I would recommend doing this solo if you can. I also hit a rock there. I went through this very slowly, hit that, and missed that checkpoint. and then still ended up with 12,000 points. At that point, I had already done it like 10 or 15 times and I was frustrated, so I decided to go ahead and leave that and move on to the next event. I may go back, but my score was decent, 131,000 points, so I may leave it alone as well. I'm pretty sure I've secured platinum for the week, so I'm just going to leave it as is. If I have to go back and increase my score, I will. The next event is the Black Mount air race using that Waco. So this Waco is not really the fastest air race vehicle, but it's fun to drive. It's got that double wing. It's kind of a cool looking plane. And this is a really straightforward race. As I said in my guide, this is something that you just need to have a fast plane. So if your plane is fully upgraded, you're going to do fine. If it's not, you'll score a little bit less. For me, mine's not fully upgraded at all, so my score could have been better than it was, but I ran it pretty cleanly. Notice I'm not the best at controlling the planes, but I'm good enough to hit all of these checkpoints exactly the way they're supposed to be hit, and not waste too much time. So anyway, I'll let this run play out, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright, next up is the Middle of Nowhere Street Race. This race was one of my favorite events of this summit. You get to use this gold and black RX-8, which sounds so good. You can hear that rotary engine scream. It is a really nice car, and I cannot wait to earn this in the summit. This is the Summit Platinum Rewards vehicle. The thing is absolutely stunning, and I'm super excited to use this car outside of this summit. But this is the only event, I should say, that we're actually going to be able to use this RX-8 for this week, and we have to wait until next Tuesday to actually own it. So anyway, these shortcuts I did not hit cleanly, and my score was still pretty decent, so I left it the way it was. But you can see, like, I don't take every single turn perfectly. I definitely could have raced better than I did. I was not expecting this borrowed car to be such a low level. We don't have the ability to adjust pro settings, so you're kind of stuck with what it is. And this shortcut in particular, going across this field and over the jump, I did terribly on the first lap. I ran into this guardrail. That slowed me down a lot. I probably could have knocked off an extra 3 or 4 seconds had I hit that cleanly. But anyway, it went okay. I'm happy with this race. I like this car, and I really appreciate the beauty and the sounds of this game, and this car sounds amazing. So I highly recommend going after Platinum this week. It is definitely worth it. This car is just amazing looking. So anyway, we'll let this run play out, and I'll catch you on the next run. Alright, this next event is the Rally Raid at Red Rock using this motorcycle. To be honest with you, man, I really hate this motorcycle. I would never drive this outside of this event. It has a terrible time turning, and it's really just not good in general. I really don't have any feelings about this particular Rally Raid. I think it's fine. There aren't any real difficult spots in it. But with this motorcycle, it just was very, very difficult to get the thing to turn, so it made it hard to avoid trees. I had to run it a few times just to be as certain as possible that I got a decent time. And like even when you go through some of these canyon areas, you have a hard time turning the bike. So it makes it difficult. You have to kind of slow down and turn. That being said, I put up an okay time. It's definitely enough for the summit, but I could have been better. I think I actually hit a tree midway through this run, so I think it could be better. There aren't any real tips that I can give you past what my summit guide said. I think the route alone is what's important here. This is the fastest route. I've looked at tons of different videos and world records of this one, and I think that this is the best way to go about it. Now, some of these I get thrown off course just a tiny bit. Like right here, I'm out of position a little. That being said, just try not to hit any trees. Try to keep your speed up, and you'll do fine. All right, we'll let this play out, and I will catch you on the next event. Alright, next up is the hovercraft race that is actually a rallycross race, and that is Circle Pit. This event was actually really fun. I was dreading it. When I saw this was an event, I was not excited to play it, and then when I started running this race, I really enjoyed playing it. The hovercrafts are very fun to drive, and in particular, it was pretty fun to give it a shot on this course. But I noticed a few things. It felt like you could run this faster with a hovercraft than you could with a car, even though my time wasn't better. I had a better time with a car. However, I think if I practice this, and keep in mind this was my first and only run, but I think if I practice this, I could get a little bit better. I definitely could take some of these turns better and a little bit more smooth. Maybe have some more key NOS usage. And when I say that, I mean around turns, hitting the NOS in the correct direction so that the hovercraft doesn't bounce off the walls. You'll notice, like, coming up in some of these turn sections, I bounce off the walls quite a bit, which definitely slows down my time. I think that it would be very, very good to learn this track a little bit better and how to handle a hovercraft around it. I did practice a little bit when I was making my guide video, but this hovercraft coming around in the race, it feels really, really good. It feels like it's something that can be controlled, except for this section. I played pinball off of these walls right here. But yeah, it feels good. I really actually enjoyed this event, and I thought I was going to hate it. So I might go back and try to get a better time. But anyway, this is one lap down. I'll let the rest of the race play out, and you can see my final time and points. Alright, so 2:59.9, just under 3 minutes, and that is good enough to get you 126,000 points. So right around 3 minutes, 126,000 points. Really not bad at all, but like I said, I had fun, so I might go back and do it again. Up next, the Colorado Riverbanks Jet Boat or Jetsprint. I hate this race. This race itself actually is not that bad, but I did hate my time in it. I started off terribly right there, bouncing around in the water, can't even get going. My buddy was kicking my butt for the first part of this race, and I feel like this is really just dependent on how fast the boat is and then how well you can control the boat. And unfortunately, I'm not the best at Jetsprint, but I'm also not the worst, so my time was fine, but my boat is severely underleveled. It's like I don't know, 45 out of 120, I think. So I think if I were to spend some time and upgrade my jet boat, the time on this would greatly increase. I could probably score somewhere in the 120 to 130,000 points. That being said, I'll go ahead and let you watch this very tragic, terrible run that I made with this Jetsprint. So anyway, we'll catch you on the next event. All right, and the last event is the Uber Dam Powerboat race. This race is very fast. It's very easy. There's not a lot of complicated sections in this race, but I will point out the places where I feel like I made a mistake. But first of all, I was kind of thrown off by the handling of this boat. I don't know why. I practiced with this boat a lot when I was making my guide video, but for some reason when I got in here, it just didn't handle like I was expecting it to, and I think it has to do with the fact that I was controlling that jet boat, or that Jetsprint boat, just before I did this one. So I would say recommendation, if you can just do the Jetsprint first and then come back to this one later, maybe your hands or your memory won't be fatigued by that Jetsprint, and you can control this boat a little better. I was not doing very well until about halfway or a little bit more than halfway through this race. Also, why does this boat die in the air? It just completely dies. Now, I'm not going to use all of my NOS through the air to keep it going, but like other boats don't do that at all, and I couldn't figure out why. If anybody knows, hit me in the comment section. I'd love to know why this particular boat dies in the air when like the 1414 Demon does very well in the air and actually glides pretty well. So anyway, yeah, let me know on that. But my time on this wasn't too bad. It could have been faster, but I ended up, I think, around 100, or not 100, a minute and 25, minute and 26, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, a minute 25.7 or 0.5, and that's plenty. I mean, this gives you over 100,000 points. Like I said, you want to shoot for low 120s. You know, 121 to 125 gives you 116,000 points. I left it. I mean, I didn't do it as well as I could have. There's definitely room for improvement there. But anyway, this is it. This is my summit score. So 1.238 million puts me in 15th out of the 1,500 players that played. Now, keep in mind, I played like right when it came out, so there's probably another 10,000 to 15,000 players that are going to be doing this. Maybe even more, up to 20,000 on Xbox. So I'm definitely not going to stay in the 15th rank. But that's it. That's my summit results. And if you guys have any questions about this video or any video, you can hit me up on Instagram at any time. And if you've made it this far and watched my entire video, I really thank you sincerely. And Happy New Year to everybody. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.